Hey guys, we're back for some more Standard, currently Mythic rank 123, and I put together a Naya Humans combo deck. So this is kind of a take on the Selesnya Humans combo that I ran into on ladder, which looked really intriguing, and I just tried to stay as long as I could in the match just to see as many of the cards as I could, and I tried to basically build the match, or build the deck from what I saw. And then, so this is basically the Augur of Autumn Humans combo. But then I adapted it to include red for Naya. So I think that, this deck can benefit from Imidane's Recruiter as kind of a way to sort of speed it up by a turn, or at least have access to wins out of nowhere. So this is the deck. And this is kind of, I just basically put this together from what I'd seen on ladder and just assuming numbers. I haven't seen an actual deck list of this, but then I just changed it to what I think will fit best, and I'll kind of go into why. So first of all, the mana base. This is 22 lands, and with the Cavern of Souls and Secluded Courtyard naming human, you have basically 8 extra lands that can produce mana of any color that you need. And so with this, we have 22 sources that can produce white, 20 sources that can produce green, and I believe we have 15 sources that can produce red. So every land comes into play untapped, which is super important. We do run 2 copies of Thran Portal. I really don't want to run any more than that just because the pain is real. And once you get something like Catilda going, you can kind of rely a little bit less on the pain land, which makes it a little bit more manageable. So first of all, this deck can act as just a very straightforward Naya beatdown deck. It runs a lot of really early drop humans like Warden of the Inner Sky, Recruitment Officer, Lunarch Veteran, and Enduring Bond Warden. So it's fairly aggressive, and then we'll get into the combo here in a minute. And then sort of the top end, you have Imidane's Recruiter to come in and give everything haste and just win you the game. Knight Errant of Eos to find whatever it is that you need. And this kind of brings us to the combo. So the combo is you have Catilda, which gives all human creatures the ability to tap for 1 mana of any color that it produces. So if you have like a white creature, it taps for white mana, etc. And then if you have 6 mana and you tap this, you can use creatures again to produce that mana. You then put a +1/+1 counter on every creature you control. So this is a way to kind of go bigger than basically everyone and just continue to pump up your team until you kill them. But more importantly, Catilda is there to basically give you near infinite mana once you kind of get going with the combo. Augur of Autumn is a 3 mana 2/3 human druid that allows you to look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can play lands from the top of your library, being able to play 1 land a turn still. With Coven, so as long as you have creatures of 3 different powers, so you could have like a 1 power creature, a 2 power creature, a 3 power creature, for example, you can cast creature spells from the top of your library, which is kind of what it's all about. So basically you want to set up a board where you have Augur of Autumn, where you're playing lands from the top of your deck, and then ultimately you're able to cast creatures if you have 3 different powers out. So to that end, I've kind of shaped the deck so that you have 12 creatures that come in with a base power of 1, so Lunarch Veteran, Warden of the Inner Sky, and Catilda. And then I have 12 creatures that come in with a base power of 2, Recruitment Officer, Tauren's Fist of the Angels, and Augur of Autumn. And I have 11 creatures that come in with a base power of not 1 or 2. So you have Enduring Bond Warden, and the trick here is you give the counter to something else, making this a 0 power creature so that it's different from everything else. Intrepid Adversary is a 3 power creature base, and then you've got Knight Errant of Eos, which is a 4 power creature. So if you have, one of your 1 powers, one of your 2 powers, and one of your other powers, you can then turn on the Coven ability and use that to play creatures from the top of your deck. I'm not really counting Immodane's Recruiter in this because this is a 2-power creature and it buffs your whole team, but it's kind of meant to be used as your finisher. So with Augur of Autumn, you're essentially able to draw near infinite cards in the sense that you're playing creatures off the top of your deck. Now the problem that you would assume you'd run into is that, well, what if you have a land on the top of your deck and you've already played a land that turn? Enter the next part of the combo, which is Warden of the Inner Sky. So with Warden of the Inner Sky, you're able to tap 3 untapped artifacts and or creatures you control to put a +1/+1 counter on Warden of the Inner Sky and scry 1. So this means you look at the top card of your library and you can most importantly put that on the bottom of your library if you don't like it. So once you have Augur of Autumn going, you can use a bunch of creatures to then scry through your deck and keep going. Now, this is where the last part of the combo comes in. Tauren's Fist of the Angels, who has training, is a 2/2 for 3 mana, and whenever you cast a creature spell, you create a 1/1 green and white human soldier creature token with training. So basically, this gives you near infinite number of creatures. So you've got basically infinite mana, infinite creatures, infinite card draw, and infinite scrying. So these 4 cards is kind of what you want to go for. You can also just kind of bash face, but once you have all this happening, you will amass just an insane board state. This deck can go bigger than any other deck in Standard, I think. You can basically play like half of your deck in one turn if you get it all going. Or a third or whatever, a lot. And then if you play Immodane's Recruiter, you give everything haste, +1/+0, and you just swing in and just bash for 1 billion. Now, it might take an additional turn of setup because you are using your creatures that you're playing and then tapping them for mana, and then also tapping them if they have summoning sickness. You're tapping them for Convoke with Night Air Navios, who then goes and finds whatever missing piece of the combo that you don't have. The other thing is, once you have Catilda going, if you have a recruitment officer and you have near infinite mana, you can then use your creatures every turn to search for whatever missing piece that you need and then find it, and then so on and so forth. So yeah, the deck really kind of gels together pretty well. And I thought that adding in red would be great because then you could just give everything haste and just bash for 1 billion. Intrepid Adversary is here for the life gain because mono red is a real thing, and it is still a very hard matchup because they are so fast. So the nice thing is it fits in because it's a different power creature than 1 or 2, and also it has lifelink, so it can help you survive the early game against mono red. And also, if you have like a lot of mana with Catilda, you can like pump your entire team +5/+5 or something truly silly. So that's why we've got Adversary in the deck. Yeah, but that's basically how the deck works. I really like it. And let's get into some games. By the way, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I do try to make a video every day. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much again for your support. It really means the world to me. So with all that said, let's hop into some games. But yeah, I think this is one of the decks that you can just go basically bigger than anyone else. There might be decks out there that can go bigger than this, but you can go pretty big. All right, hand looks great. We've got all of the mana that we need to get started, and we've already a couple pieces of the combo. And I'm still very much learning the deck to like find out, you know, what is the optimal strategy against every type of other deck we run into. One thing that seems to be nice against like Control is if they have like infinite board wipes, then you just want to try to get them to like half life, and then set up like a hand where you have one of your Immonane's recruiters and a couple creatures, so you can just like kill them in one turn with haste. You also want to try to like set up like backup copies of all the pieces of the combo if they keep like board wiping you. So let's see, what do they take? They took Knight Errant. Okay, sure. So we'll play Thran Portal on 3 just to avoid all the unnecessary pain. This deck, I'm not sure what we're up against. This seems like a red-black. Like, actually, this looks like Jund, just like Jund value. So I think maybe I guess we could push some damage here with Adversary. I feel like it's better to like wait on this to get like tokens out of Torrens, but maybe quick damage is better. I'm not really sure. We're just gonna try it out. Oh. All right, here let's name green so we can get Augur of Autumn going. And I guess we'll start with, let's see, I suppose we could do Knight Errant this turn before they start killing stuff. We could also go Torrens if we think we can have it survive like one turn, which would be amazing. So I think let's try that. It might be a bit presumptuous, but let's give it a go. Okay, so this does look like a Sunfall type deck. So now we can get Augur of Autumn going and try to get a land. If we hit the land, then we can go into Knight Errant also. But that is kind of iffy if that's going to happen or not. So maybe let's just Knight Errant first. Kind of like that. And then I think we'll leave like green-white open. This also sets us up for next turn where we can have like potentially Torrens get training off the Knight Errant. Okay. So here we can pick up like Recruitment Officer to keep looking for more pieces. We don't have a ton of mana though, so maybe we just kind of try to like force the kill. So maybe we go like Adversary and we probably want a Bond Warden just to ensure that Augur will be set up correctly. Like, we have it now, but if they kill something, just in case. And then here, I guess we could, like, Bond Warden the Adversary to make it a little bigger. Or we could make our Torrens a 3/3 so it survives this nonsense. I kind of like that. However, they probably just kill it if they've got removal. It's like the biggest target right now, so I'm a little bit... Well, I guess we still have a little bit of time before they Sunfall. So yeah, I think let's make this... Maybe we'll give it to the Adversary. I kind of like the idea of getting a little bit more life, having this be a little bit more of a threat. Okay, does it not show me which one they took back? Yeah, maybe it doesn't show us. I think they're going here for Sunfall, though. Pretty sure. So we have like one attack before they blow up the everything here. We don't have enough to pump adversary, so I think we just try to bash in with everybody and get some damage in what we can. Can get him to about half, and then hopefully we can set up another big board. There's the Sunfall. Okay, so now, yeah, let's open with Torrens, and then we can get Augur going. Actually, let's see. Suppose we get adversary first? No, I think we want to get Torrens going. Okay, so now we can set up with Augur. And we're doing it this way so that we can play land off the top, if we see one. Okay, don't have one. And we can't quite play that off the top just yet, but we can soon. Could play the adversary here, but I do want to play it for a little bit bigger. So I think we just sit this turn. Okay, so now they probably kill, I suppose, Augur, sure. Yeah, we're not really in a position to kill their Kaya just yet, but we can set up Augur again here. Let's see, let's tap green like that. Okay, we've got adversary, so now we can Bond Warden here. I think we make Augur a 3 so we can start playing off the top. That way we can also give this thing training if we attack. And we need another turn of setup here. Okay, so they've got another remove all. It's unfortunate, but Yeah, veteran's not really what we need right now. Super Friends is kind of a rough matchup. Okay, well, Recruiter's nice. So we can Recruiter and then hopefully draw another land and then double pump here, which would be great. Well, we're kind of running out of time here against the walkers. Yeah, I think Sunfall on turn 5 is pretty rough for this deck. Okay, Warden's pretty great. But yeah, we're in kind of a rough spot now. And we haven't really got the breathing room to give counters to the Warden right now. Another Immidanes, which is nice. Unfortunately, like, we really can't push through just yet. They've got all these 3/3s in the way. Yeah, let's see. I think can we sneak? Maybe tapping 3 of these things down is a little iffy. They could just hit us with everything. So I don't think we can just at this moment, unfortunately. I guess we could trade 3/3s here. But yeah, they just trade and that doesn't really do much for us. They can also get their 5/5 going. I think we might just be done at this point. Man, I gotta say, Demonic Bargain is pretty nasty now. Like that, to go and find board wipe? It's pretty nuts. Yeah, that's probably gonna do it right there. Yeah. So yeah, board wipes they can be pretty rough. Okay, this hand looks great. Let's see, mono blue. Let's lead out with veteran, then go veteran into warden. We could do that, or we could go Catilda into warden. I think maybe I like Catilda into warden because it gets a little bit more mana onto the table. So I think this is like the Gingerbrute Zoetic Glyph deck. Okay. So here I think we go Catilda, so we can set up our mana. I guess if they Fading Hope our Lunarch Veteran here before this resolves, they'll cut us out of the mana. It's probably what they're thinking about right now. Yep. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna start going nuts here with the veterans. Okay, I don't think we need any more land. And we can also start pumping the squad now, which is kind of nice. Yeah, there's a Zoetic Glyph. And we're fine letting that through. Okay, so right now we've got, basically we need 6 mana and Catilda to pump everything, +1/+1. So instead of playing out more creatures here, I guess we could play one more if we're not attacking with Warden. So I think we can play like 1 officer. And then we still have 6 mana and Catilda to pump everything. Yeah, so now we'll just sit and then pump. And then in response to that, we can just go ahead and pump the team. Okay, there's the real gas. So now we can get Torrens going. We can really get off to the races. This is where this deck gets really out of hand. Okay, now we can start pumping up our Warden. Don't need another Catilda. Yeah, they're just going to pack it in. Too much value. If we're not worried about a board wipe, we can definitely just completely go all out. So like one note here, like if you are considering running this deck, I think the traditional just green-white Selesnya version ran some number of copies of Thalia and also Hamlet Vanguard, which can become like huge. And I trimmed both of those cards to make room for the red splash here with Immodane's Recruiter. So it kind of remains to be seen if this version is better or not. It's just different. And then I also put in the Intrepid Adversary to give us that earlier lifelink and just pump the team. But you can certainly play with, you know, which version you want to run. I think just having access to being able to, like when you get all those crazy tokens going, and then you give them all +1/+0 in haste, it just, oh, it's a thing of beauty. Not sure what's going on here, kind of a long queue, but here we go. Oh, yeah, this happens sometimes, I guess. Also, if you guys see like different plays that I don't see, and you know, it's certainly possible that I might make mistakes, and if you see something that like you would have done differently, you know, would be curious to know if you guys also like put in the comments if you're having success with this kind of deck or other like Naya Humans or Boros Humans decks. I'd love to know if those are working for you. And if like the, you know, like deck tech like makes sense for like what to do and how to use the deck, or if it's still like kind of confusing. Okay, it's a great hand, except we need more mana. One land is not going to work. That looks quite a bit better. I think we definitely want... This is actually a tough hand, because... I think... Like, we've got the nice setup for Augur of Autumn, because we have, like, 0, 2, 3... So maybe we keep that, but Torrens is like super busted also. And I think we want Knight Errant to like go and find whatever pieces. Maybe we just keep these two and like throw back Knight Errant. That just feels wrong though. Yeah, I guess like having the body of Knight Errant feels pretty good. I think we are set up pretty well for Augur. Since we've got the Bond Warden, yeah, maybe we'll stay with... This just feels rough. Torrens is so good, like I don't know what we cut there. I want all those cards is the real answer. Okay, that was a nice draw. So now we can go Veteran into Knight Errant. Let's see, let's use this one. Okay, that's a nice pickup. Get Catilda and Imidanes. That feels great. Okay, that's a great pickup. So now we can go... I guess we could go Augur first, and then see if we can play something off the top. The problem is then we don't have enough for Catilda, so I kind of want to get Catilda going. So I think I want to play this here for human, and then we go like green, white for Catilda. We're going to take a little bit of pain here, but it's going to be worth it. Now we can go Augur. We could also just like make some 2/2s. But Augur lets us play off the top, which I like. Okay, unfortunately can't play the land. That's too bad. And I guess we just bash in for 3. We do have enough to start pumping the team if they don't have more Brutal Cathar nonsense. Okay, it looks like they're setting up for a double spell here. Alright, so let's play land off the top. Fortunately, we can't scry it away yet. We can use Officer to draw, though, and kind of keep everything going. We have enough to make the 2/2s. Can also pump everything we have out there right now, but that's not that many creatures. So I kind of want to like use the mana we have before we lose it. So if we Officer, we can try to like get some more stuff going. Yeah, I guess let's try that. Because we'll still have enough, I think. Yeah, okay, so let's Officer. So I want to make sure I tap the mana here in a good way. Leave the red open if... Let's see, use these ones here. And maybe one brush land should be enough. Okay, Lunarch is good. Warden can start getting up there. So I kind of like that. Now we can play Warden off the top. And now we can use Warden to scry. So let's play another Warden. Actually, yeah, let's... And I want to tap both of the ones that are coming in summoning sick, since we can't use them for mana. Unfortunately, still can't use anything here. Another land. So no attacks. So he's probably going to take Augur here, I'm guessing. I mean, Catilda's pretty rough too, so... But we got a lot of stuff out. Yeah, I think we just need to take this, unfortunately. So he's got 2 blockers. If we go Imidanes, we can go Imidanes into Imidanes and hit for 3, 6, 9. If we tap these 2, that would be 13, 15, 18, 20, but he can block. We do almost kill him though. I don't think it's quite enough, but I think we should make the tokens. Oh, and that didn't use all of our mana correctly. That's annoying. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess we can just pump the team. This is awkward though, because we wanted to be able to do that end of turn. Hate the auto tapper. All right, let's do it. No, not. No, oh my God. I didn't mean to attack. Oh, jeez. Oh, fail. Oh, God. Yeah, I meant it to not do that. Oh, my God. Took a little bit too long there figuring out the mana, but I was trying to have it set up so that I would, because it didn't use all the mana that I set up for the recruiter. So, it, yeah, that was awkward. And I think now, unfortunately, they probably just kill us here. Well, we can survive for a turn. Whew. Oh, that was so awkward. They probably have Iganjo here, I'm guessing. Alright. Can we try to salvage this nonsense? Well, we're just going to flip their Brood again. Guess we could play another Augur, though. That's not the worst. Okay. I don't think we want another Augur here. I mean, I guess it's fine, but we can probably do better. Yeah, that's what we want. Now we just need to survive into the next turn. They probably take our 3/4 here, I'm guessing. Yeah. That Brutal Cathar has done a lot of work this game, that's for sure. Okay, so they're on mono Brutal Cathar plan. Okay, we can play Torrens off the top. Now, hopefully we can go infinite. So Recruiter. We need more mana. I guess if we give everything haste, we can hit for a decent amount. Yeah, they've got like some blockers, but they're not great. Okay, so now the question is, we can't send everything because we don't want to die. The Brute's going to suck up at least one hit here. Do we want the Warden to fly? I don't think we care that much. So we definitely don't want to send everything. Probably, I guess they could kill Torrens because we've got a backup Torrens here. We don't really care. If we shove with everything, they can take some, kill most of our stuff. They would swing back for 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, and if they play any kind of pump effect, we would die. So I think maybe we like leave our Bond Warden home, and maybe like Warden because it's only representing 2 damage. I think maybe we like leave those 2 back just so we don't die. Yeah, and I think we need to leave 2 back because they're going to take one with a Brutal Cathar. Whew, it'll be amazing if we can salvage this game after that, like, face palm with the all attack when we wanted to tap out. Yeah, I guess if we had sent, maybe we could have killed them there if we had sent everything. We have an extra 3 damage. They probably block with Veteran, though. Spellbook Veteran, sure. Okay, if you want to tap out for Knight Errant, maybe we can kill you. It's possible. Okay, yeah, 3 blockers. I think we can get you 3 blockers. You even know about the Recruiter, which is crazy why you did that. So it's crazy for them to do that, I think. So we go Torrens. Then we still have enough for Veteran into Recruiter. Let's make sure we save our mana and don't tap it wrong. And this is going to be game. Okay, face palmed and still managed to salvage it. That's the power of this deck. If you can screw up that badly and still win. But man, that Brutal Cathar did a lot of work. Anyways, it gives you kind of a feel for the deck. Hope you guys liked it. It is a really fun deck to play. It does have trouble with board wipes. It does have trouble with mono red. But in like any kind of like creature stall grindy matchup, like you will just go over the top of anybody. So anyways, let's take a look at the stats real quick. And just a moment here. Okay, here is the Naya Humans combo deck. I did build it as a new deck, even though it is essentially a riff on the Naya Humans deck. So currently it's showing 67% win rate. So it's only 3 games in, 2 wins and a loss. But yeah, this deck is a lot of fun to play. And if you guys want to craft it, the link will be in the description. And we will see you next time.